Okay, good morning, students. We are going to continue our discussion about dramas. And we've been looking at the play, The Diary of Anne Frank. We've gotten into it a little bit. We're going to continue this by having a discussion. Can I have someone volunteer to read me the learning target for today? Yes.
I can discuss how character descriptions contribute to my understanding of a drama.
Okay, so turn to your partner and just explain that in your own words.
I can talk about how
So I would say,
how the different people in the play make the play make more sense.
say how
Because we can't really understand the play unless we understand the
the
character.
play talks about characters,
But we're gonna be able to talk about that at the end.
helps me make sense of the rest of what's going on.
That's important.
Yeah, I'd say how the characters are portrayed help me understand the drama as a whole.
Okay, heard some good discussions. So we've been talking about how different aspects of a drama, how each part is important to your understanding of the drama, and picturing it in your mind. So we're going to start off. I want you all to think of a time when you have felt like an outcast. And you all come from minority backgrounds. So I know you have all experienced this situation in your life. So think about that and then talk in your small groups. Share an experience that you have had.
What minority are you from?
Our experience as an outsider, you said?
Yes. Okay. You felt like an outcast.
I have had experiences where I'm the only woman in a classroom, and that can be very uncomfortable. Even though I'm yell and I talk a lot, that dynamic changes and I felt like a bit of an outsider.
I think for me, I felt like an outcast a little bit as I was going to Christian high school because I felt like a lot of the other students and their families were much more wealthy than my family, even though we were well off, obviously, going to private school. And so I felt like sometimes that left me as part of being an outsider.
Yeah, the SES.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's interesting.
Okay. We've read this text before, Scene 2, Act 1, Scene 2, but I'm going to reread to you this description of Peter Van Dam, just that sets up this part of the play. It said, Peter Van Dam is standing at the window of the room on the right, looking down at the street below. He is a shy, awkward boy of 16. At his feet is a black case, a carrier for his cat. The yellow Star of David is conspicuous on all of their clothes. So the clothes is talking about the clothes of his entire family. What do you know? I know you all know this from history class, but the yellow Star of David on their clothes, what does that tell you about him and his family? That they're Jewish. That they're Jewish. So in this situation, how do you think he's feeling? We see, let me reread. Mr. Van Dam, we noticed last time that it says that he's nervous. So we see that the dad is nervous. We see they have the Star of David. We know they're Jewish. Why are they feeling this way? Why are they feeling nervous and scared? Everybody knows they're different, sorry.
Well, this must be taking place during World War II, where the Jewish community is being oppressed.
Right, and we talked about that last week. about the setting, what is going on. So what are we learning? How can we relate how you guys have felt, your situations of an outcast, and what's going on with them? How can you empathize with them? Do you have a better understanding of how they're feeling as we're leading into this?
Well, I was thinking about when I felt like an outcast, when in elementary school, when I went to a new school and everyone knew each other and all had friends. When it was recess, I didn't have anyone to play with, and I thought it was because they thought I was weird or they didn't like want to talk to me. And so maybe I can relate to this character because they're feeling like an outcast because they're worried about maybe what people are going to think about them, and maybe people don't want to hang out with them because of the star on their shirt.
Good. So really what I wanted you guys to think about today is how looking at the character descriptions, I know a lot of us, we just breeze past this part. We go straight to the dialogue and read what's going on. But reading the descriptions that it gives us, we can imagine how they're standing there nervous. They're packing their bags. They're having to leave and go into hiding right now. But that is going to show us, help us feel how they're feeling. And that is going to help us better understand the dialogue that we're going to read later. If we're having this picture in our head, not only reading the dialogue, but we're imagining how they're feeling. And we've all been in situations like that also. So I want you all to pull out a piece of paper. And the first thing I want you to write is, after reading the description, how can you better empathize with these characters? Now thinking through more of how they are feeling and what is going on in this situation.
Sorry, can you repeat the question one more time?
After reading the character description, how can you now better empathize with the character? And then the second thing is, how has that understanding enhanced how you're going to read the text? Has it changed going forward how you're going to read the text? Are you going to read it with a different set of eyes now? Two more things I'm going to have you write, and then we are going to pick up at this spot tomorrow. How do you feel you have met the learning target today, and why? And how do you think we can better meet that target tomorrow? is your exit slip for today, so you can just hand it to me on your way out. That's all.